Hey, Restoration. Ryan here in my backyard. People mowing their lawns everywhere. I just wanted to take a moment and share with you some really important things that are happening in the life of our church. The first thing I just want to say is I just want to encourage you. This is obviously the most insane time, and not being together is hard. Not being able to see our kids play together, see people get to know each other, people at each other's table is a really difficult thing, let alone not being together on Sunday morning to worship and to pray together and hear from God. It's just a wild time. And I just want to encourage you. I just sense that God is doing stuff in all of us individually and collectively. I think that there are things, even though this is really hard and really unnerving of a time, I just want to encourage you that God, in the midst of the suffering, the pain, and the frustration, and the breaking of plans and the expectations you had for this time of year, that God is working. He's working in you, he's working in me, and I am hopeful and grateful for that in the midst of the fact that it doesn't feel good. It's not ideal. I just wanted to share a few things with you. Our staff and our leadership have been working so hard behind the scenes to connect people, to kind of pave a way forward, and it's just been so fun to be a part of that. And so if you get a chance to thank our staff and leadership over the next few weeks, that would just be so encouraging for them. A couple things I wanted to let you know. First off, this season we're in, as a country, as a world, really, as a city, we're in constant conversation with the governor's office. We're in constant conversation with the city and the Arvada Center. We don't have a date of reopening yet. In fact, I just want you to know that we are not playing this kind of church versus state game that you see happening in different places of our country. We really believe that we are a part of making the city flourish. And so we are going to take their advice. And we're also a rent per week situation. So for us, it makes no sense to try to push that and to get back to paying rent for, half of our church to show up. So we're going to do our best to do this well. At some point, we'll be back together. We may try to get together in different ways. Maybe some outdoor settings, things like that. But you just need to know that we are just being really prayerful and considering all the factors when we talk about what it looks like for us to meet together again as a church. And I just want to remind you, if you missed the announcement like at the beginning of the shutdown, we are no longer looking for a space to meet. We are going to be living as a church on Sunday mornings at the Arvada Center past 2021. So there was a conversation and a misunderstanding really at the beginning that said that we had to go find a new place to meet. That has all changed. That they want us to be there at the Arvada Center. So we're no longer homeless. We just can't meet together right now. Second thing I wanted to say is we've tried every different way on Sunday morning to connect with you, connect with our community. We've done YouTube, we've done live, we've done pre-recorded, we've done all these different things. We really just sense that the strength of our community is our connection, and the strength of what we want to be, 5 months from now, a year from now, is about following Jesus together in community. So being with Jesus, becoming like Jesus, and doing what Jesus did, all is around together. It's not as individuals. And so our biggest hope is to stay connected and to keep encouraging each other. And that's why we've decided to continue to do live online worship from the YouTube platform and the Facebook platform, but then to gather together at 9:45 for some scripture, some teaching, some interaction together. We're going to be involving children, your children, more into that experience as well. And so I just want to encourage you. I know it's easier to click play and to watch something live and have kind of just to consume it. I get it. I prefer that sometimes too. But I really want to push us as a community and challenge you to stay in the habit of gathering, even though it's in kind of an awkward space sometimes with Zoom, and just give yourself the permission to be a little bit more vulnerable on Sunday mornings and intentional, because I think that's going to take us a lot further than you and I in a pre-recorded kind of relationship. So I just want to encourage you on that. And I know it takes effort. I know it does. And I'm challenging you to give us that effort from you and your family, because we don't know how long this will be, but we want to come out of it more connected than ever. Two other things I want to share with you. As you know, Elliot's transition is coming up. When we initially announced Elliot's transition off of our staff as our worship pastor, it just came at this pandemic. It just came in this shutdown, and it's just not ideal. It's not what we wanted, but it's just the timing. And so what's going to happen is, I just want to give you a heads up on what's going on. At the end of May, Elliot's going to transition off of staff, which means there are 3 more Sundays. May is a 5-Sunday month. So Elliot's going to transition off of staff at the end of May, but we're not done with Elliot. When we get a chance to come back together as a church and gather again, we're going to have Elliot out for a couple Sundays and pay him an honorarium and celebrate him in the Henshaws in a big way. And so Elliot has meant everything to this church for the almost exactly 6 years that he's served our congregation, our community. And Elliot came at a time when he was a gift. Elliot and Jen were a gift from God to us, and they still are a gift. And so we want to celebrate them, and then at the same time give them the opportunity to transition and move on and begin this new chapter for them, and for us to begin our new chapter. Our new chapter includes our worship team being involved and leading us as they've done for the last number of years, with the help of Trent Mulliken. And Trent is going to step in and just kind of on a contract basis on Sundays and help us and lead us in worship. And so you can be looking forward to some really great things from our worship team and on the Sundays ahead. So I just wanted to share all that with you. And then one of the last things I wanted to share with you is our journey with student ministry. For about a year now, we have been hearing God's promptings for us to step back in as a community into the lives of students. Not only do we have a lot of students coming up as they age into student ministry, but we look around Arvada and we feel like it is time. It is time for restoration with all of our passion and excitement for students to step into this ministry. And so we have been actively talking with youth pastors in the area, with school officials in the area. There's a definite need for people to volunteer and push into the lives of students. And we kind of thought, oh, wow, there's a pandemic happening. Maybe this isn't the best time. But as we prayed about it, we just felt like, no, this is the time to lay the foundation, to prepare, to cast some vision to our church and to some potential volunteers, to get parents on board. And so we have a lot coming up. And some of that has to do with putting some leadership in place for student ministry. And so you'll be hearing more about that on a Sunday morning in the near future here. But I just wanted to say it is an overwhelming passion of ours to make this happen. And you being behind it as a church is important. Here's how you can be behind it. You can be praying about it. You can be involving yourself and your children and your family into the vision that's coming. And you can continue to give faithfully, because how this is going to work, this is not something that was in our budget. And we just feel like stepping into this is a act of faith, not only financially, but with our time and our volunteer initiative. And so be faithful in giving. Financially, we are obviously saving money on rent at the moment, yes, but we're also catching up, and that's helping us catch up. And so will you continue to be faithful? If you don't give to our community right now and you have the ability to do so, would you consider just starting like a monthly online giving? It can be small. Anything helps us. It helps us pay for programming for student ministry and getting kids to camp in the fall and winter, and all that's going to go into that, as well as the rest of the operation of our church. Many of you have been very generous lately with our Acts 4 fund that has actually gone for a number of things. It's gone to help people with rent and bills. It's actually gone for, there's an event, an operation right now to, it's a long story, but there is a local food banks that are being given freshly slaughtered meat from farmers in different parts of the country through a member in our church. And so some of our giving has gone towards helping that operation happen, to get food, protein on the plates of people in need. We've also been giving some money to a local immigrant church that has been hit pretty hard with their operating expenses and their congregation's ability to give as well. And so much of your giving has gone to some amazing things. And I just want to encourage you, like, there are tough economic days ahead for many. So if you've been thinking about giving to that fund, I would encourage you to please make that over and above what you normally give to our church. It makes it difficult on us as a church if general giving just gets switched to something else, because that leaves a deficit there. So thank you, church. Continue to care for each other, reach out, continue to push into those places in your life that God might be calling you to, whether they be spiritual practices, maybe financial giving. It may be just how you step out and see people in need in this world. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your heart open to what God is doing. And I want to challenge you again to lean into this community and reach out and push in and be vulnerable and intentional on Sunday mornings. All right, that's it. I hope you guys are doing well. Can't wait to be together. See you soon.